than to introduce to you Mr. Mikey Mention. Welcome to the show, boss man, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks you guys for having me.
No
Thank you,
problem, no
Mr.
My,
problem.
my, my
Mikey.
mic's
Mikey,
on, right? My mic's
Wagwan.
on. My mic's on, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you. We can hear
Yeah.
you now. Now, Mikey, when
All
you
right.
were in the green room, I was checking out the scenery, and I seen some palm trees. I seen some sun. Mikey, can you introduce yourself? Tell the people who you are, where you are, and then let's start there.
I mean, to introduce myself it would take a long time to do that. In the smallest aspect that Mikey mentioned. If you notice, I'm from my name, I mentioned that's me right there. Right now, I'm in Florida. I'm trying to live it up a little bit with the lockdowns going on in Toronto. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to say too much about myself. I don't want to come across cocky. I don't want to come across arrogant, and I don't want to come across as if I'm dumbing down who I am. So, I mean, I
No
think
problem.
everybody knows who I am
Understandable.
by now. Yeah.
Well, let me also just say congratulations. You are our first international guest on the Viewpoint Show.
That's
Thank you
not
for
even it.
joining us
Bro, not even,
all the way
bro,
from
I
sunny
got a
Florida.
4-1, I got a
International.
416, I got a 416 area code. I'm not international.
All right. Well, Mikey, let me start by asking you this. Let me start by asking you this question.
All right,
Now,
let's
we
go.
posed the topic from early. Now, do people actually front like they have things on social media, or is that just a myth?
No, it's definitely not a myth. People do it. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of things where you look at it and you're like, that's not your reality. And a lot of people don't live in their reality because social media has built this platform where you feel like you got to be somebody that you're not in order to fit in with everybody else. And I think a lot of people need to take a step back for a moment and realize that, who you are is who you'll always be. And if people don't accept you for who you are, then you got to hang out with people who, you know what I mean, who fit the criteria of who you are. But I mean, I think it's a young set mind that a lot of people don't understand that.
Mm. So, Brooke, I want you to ask the next question. I want
I
you to
totally
go.
agree with you, Mr. Mikey, because the people that you hang out with, yes, man, on already. I love the vibes.
Yeah,
Like you guys' energy is always there,
yeah.
all the time. So, Mr. Mention, you are heavy in Toronto and international dancehall scene. Have you seen this type of fake portrayal there too in international waters or just in Toronto?
No, it goes both ways, to be honest with you. I've seen a lot of people. I know a lot. I wouldn't say I know a lot of people because if I knew them, I would actually stop them. I do know a few. Um, people who I know personally who call me and be like, yo, let me borrow your Louis bag for this, or let me borrow your Louis this for that, or yo, let me borrow your Gucci sneakers for this. And like, I'm the type of person that I don't let nobody nothing. I put a lot of hard earnings into everything that I have, and I look at a lot of things in life like I don't want to give you something that's mine. When you give it back to me, the crosses out of your life comes into my life, right? So therefore, I
Mm.
don't lend out stuff. But I mean, I've known a lot of people who have asked me to borrow things based off just for the image that they want to project for that moment, and I'm not with it because I put a lot into what I have, and nobody never gave me anything. I'm not about to give anybody that's mine just so you could show stuff on anybody else. It's just not my thing. But international, I do know a lot about the international world. A lot of people who you see on social media who are your big icons and your style icons, like a lot of them do buy shit and they return it. You know what I mean? It's just for the moment. Like they buy these big designer name brands that you see and you're like, oh my God, goals. I love this. I want to be about this. But they're really bringing it back tomorrow. So what goals are you really following? Anybody could buy something today and bring it back tomorrow. It's not
So,
goals.
Mikey, so then let me ask you, like,
Mhm.
why do people do it? And can faking it be dangerous?
People do it because of social media. You have the rappers and the models and the video vixens and the girls who are dating rappers and stuff who portray like I'm gonna use what's her name, Sweetie, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's
Yeah.
on the Instagram talking about, oh, if your man don't buy you a Birkin, throw him to the street. So what do you think girls are gonna do? These girls want to feel like they're popping like her, so what they're gonna do, they're gonna buy the fake bags, or they're gonna rent the bags, or they're gonna do all these things because they're like, okay, well, I look up to you. Like, imagine if you looked up to me as a person and I'm like, well, if you're wearing Zara, then you're trash. Then you're gonna be like, okay, well, I can't wear Zara no more because I look up to Mikey and Mikey's saying that Zara's trash. So I can't be wearing Zara. I got to be doing what he's saying. So these people look up to these people because they don't really have a mind of their own, and they're looking at these people as if like this is goals. But you really can't look at somebody and say that this is goals when you really don't know what they're doing to get what they get, and you don't know what they have to endure to have what they have. Like if you look at Sweetie again, like she was talking about bags this and bags that, and then a couple months later after that, she comes out saying that Quavo was doing this to her and doing that to her. So you're looking at it like, okay, well, here I am hearing this girl talk about bags, this, and if your man ain't buying you a bag, your man ain't doing this for you, throw him to the streets. But you're taking abuse in an elevator, or you're doing this, you're doing that. Like you don't know what people are going through to do that. So sometimes you just really can't follow what people are saying because the same amount that eats sugar is the same amount that eats salt, and you never know what people are really about.
Mm.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, all right, this part here is a little uncomfortable because I haven't spoken
Nothing.
and I have to clear the, no, no, not the questions. I have to clear the
Oh,
ear just so
okay.
people know. Mikey is my little cousin. All right?
Okay, I'm just like,
Our
you're
So,
like,
mothers,
what? I'm like,
our
what is
mothers
going
are
on?
sisters,
our mothers are
and we have the
sisters.
same grandmother.
And we have the all right, and we're all born and raised in the same house.
Yep.
So anyhow, all right. So Mikey, here's the next question.
All right, cuz go on.
So a lot of people will look at you, look at
Hmm.
your portrayal, and say, okay, if you're thinking about this show, he's somebody that stunts. All right.
Hmm. Hmm.
So why do you do it, or why is it important to do it? That you show, the behind the scenes of your lifestyle.
Because to be completely honest with you, there's so much of my life that I leave out of social media. A lot of my life I leave out of social media. I mean, if you really think about it and you look at my social media, you would think, okay, this guy only dresses up, this guy goes to parties, and this guy goes on vacation. That's all you would think that exists in my life. There's a lot of stuff that I don't post about my personal life, and the reason why I don't post like personal stuff is I don't leave breadcrumbs for criminals. I mean, if I do too much and I show too much, then you know too much. And I'm really not about that. Like, there's been a lot of controversy that has surrounded my life in like my dance hall years. So it's made me so uncomfortable with sharing what's really going on in my life that therefore I don't do that. So I show you like the fun stuff, but I mean, me showing you the fun stuff, I don't show you the sweats, I don't show you the tears, I don't show you the heartaches, I don't show you the headaches, I don't show any of that. So that's just I'm only showing the fruits of my labor. I haven't really showed anything else. So I really try to keep things as minimal as possible. um, if I go out and I buy a nice pair of shoes and I want to wear it, I'm going to wear it. But like, I don't do things like going to a store and taking pictures of me buying stuff. I used to, yes. And I used to do it only in the aspect to bother my haters because I have a lot of them and I want it to be like, all right, let me just trouble them because I know it's going to trouble them. I know if I do one little small thing, it's going to rattle their feathers. But then I more and more I see other people doing it. I'm like, nah, this looks tacky. Like, so I don't video me buying stuff. I barely even video me going on vacation. You'll see me on the vacation, but you won't see me like or taking a picture saying I'm going on an airplane. You won't see me taking a picture of my credit card when I buy stuff or my debit card when I buy stuff. You're not going to see me putting out cash when I buy stuff. Like I don't do any of those kind of stuff. I think it's tacky, and I stay as far away from anything that's tacky as possible.
Yeah, Mikey, I kind of agree with you on some of the stuff you said because I kind of follow some of those tactics. You see, when I'm going on when I'm posting a vacation, people don't know me, me probably come back 2 weeks already. You see,
Hmm.
when I'm posting me on the plane, me done land 3 hours ago. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I kind of just like you said, I kind of do that. Number one, because I don't want nobody putting their bad mind on me. I don't want people to be like, oh, that's where he is. Let's go. You know what I mean? We talked about it a couple weeks ago. The situation, I think it was with Pop Smoke, where he was showing off something that he got in the mail, and his address was there.
Hmm.
Somebody seen that address, and they say that's what caused his untimely death. So some people say he was showing off, and it caused that situation. Some people say it was just coincidence, but people say don't show off.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So then let's segue to that then. Then how dangerous is it then? Would you say it's dangerous stunting on the
Yeah.
gram or stunting on social media? Is it dangerous?
I mean, every single person that exists in this world wants to wants to broadcast their accomplishments. Everybody. You could have a doctor who has all the degrees in their office. And the reason why they do it is because it's to broadcast it. That's what they do. They love it. So I mean, somebody buying a new home or somebody buying a new car, stuff like, why should you not post it? Because you know what, you have potentially envious people who are going to want to hurt you for it. But however, there are things that people do on social media that I think that they should stop doing, because that is going to lead to your possible demise. Like posting a stack of money. You don't gotta post that. If you have it, you have it. We know it. Like you could look at someone and be like, all right, they have it. They have it. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. Like that's just that posting money and posting you buying this and you posting you doing this and you posting you doing that. Like some of the things that I see a lot of people doing on social media, like I look at it and I'm like, you know what? They gotta stop. And then sometimes when I check their age bracket, I'm like, all right, well I get why they're doing it. They're still young, and there's a lot of things like I'm more than positive if Instagram and things were as popular, name brand and all of these things were as important now as they were when I was probably 26. Like maybe I would be doing the same thing, but I'm not 26 anymore, so I don't really resonate with what they're doing. But I wish that they would stop, because all they're doing is setting themselves up for people to hurt them.
How important, when you talk about social media, right? How
Hmm.
important do you feel it is to like take a break from social media? Because sometimes a lot of people say, you know what, I had to take a month off, 2 months off, probably even a year, or sometimes shut down their account. Do you find sometimes you have to stay away from social media yourself, or because of the negativity and things like that, or no?
Nah, even when they're done in me, all when they have 10,000 page about me and 10,000 Instagram blog. But then again, I'm not saying this because I'm on your interview. I'm telling you this because naturally who I am. I'm a very strong individual. So it takes a lot more than words to break me, and it takes a lot more than negativity to break me. I use every negative stone that's thrown at me to build up an empire. So I don't look at anything like people send me all the time. They make fake profiles about me, and people send it to me, or people send me like comments that they have to write about me on blogs, and I read it and I'm like, oh God, they need a life, and I go on with myself. But it honestly, like, this is not coming from a 35-year-old. I'm telling you, I've been going through this since I was like 21 years old. So I mean, it's been years of hard bricks that have been thrown at me that I've literally had to use and build my back. So it's easier for me to look at it and be like, oh well, whatever. I know people who are like related to me or thing, and they come to me with things that they're going on in their lives, and I'm like, like you can't let it bother you. But at the same time, of me telling you not to let something bother you, I'm being hypocritical, because at your age it would have bothered me, but at my age now, after going through for so long, I look at it like, all right, people just have no lives, and I just keep it moving. But not everybody has that mindset. So me and social media, like social media to me is just for entertainment. It's nothing as serious as other people take it.
All
Yeah,
right.
you know, and you know, just before you go, Wiggs, you know what's big about you, Mikey? Your resiliency. No matter
Hmm.
how, as you said, your name is in everything.
Hmm.
Um, you know, they've been throwing bricks and stones, and you're still standing. And you know, there was an incident last year that I seen, and just to know, like, I almost forgot about, because you just kept doing your thing. You just kept doing your thing.
Cause
The
You know what
next
I'm
that
day.
saying?
was that was that it wasn't even I didn't even have to get stitches for that. So I mean I had to laugh it off, right? So I
Yeah.
mean,
The next day you were at a
life,
party. I swear you were at a
everything
party the
comes.
next
The
day.
next no, the
Yeah,
same
the next
night.
day, I swear.
No, it was the
I
same
swear the
night. I
next day
went to
you were
my
at a
car and
party.
changed. No, it was the same night. I
Yeah,
went
the
to my
same
car and
day you
changed
went to
my
a party.
clothes.
But it's your
Yeah,
mindset.
so
So where I'm
All right.
going is the mindset. Your
All right.
mindset is very strong. But
So
Wiggs,
Mikey,
very
go
so
cause.
with
ahead, brother.
so with that being said, just like Jada said, so and you mentioned earlier in your younger days in the dancehall scene, there might have been a narrative that you were like wild and causing a lot of ruckus in the dance hall. Not just you, but the crowd and maybe
Hmm.
the some of the friends and family that you associate with, right? Now, over the years, has that narrative changed about you? And if so, what what caused it to change, if it did?
So all right, so listen to me. I would personally say the narrative has changed me as a person, and I think that anybody that knows me personally would say that. But you are still gonna have the naysayers that will say, "Oh God, Mikey, this, Mikey." But realistically, if you think about it, I have not been in anything that makes any sense to anybody, because the older I've gotten is the more and more I've accomplished so much more in my older years. You know what I mean? When they say that life gets better after 30, they're not lying to you. So when I got to a certain age and I started to accomplish so much and I started to do so much, I looked at things like, I can't allow people to stop what I'm doing, because if they stop me from doing what I'm doing, who's gonna do it for me? There's nobody who's gonna do it for me. So in that aspect, I looked at I started I changed my things, like where back in the days, like if somebody would say boo about Mikey, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna fly in their face when I see them, because why are you talking about me? I'm not doing you nothing. But
You
the
would be
Mikey
quick
me
to
now,
respond.
yeah, the Mikey me now, I'm telling you, sometimes they write me messages underneath my Instagram post. They're in my DM. They write all kind of things. You know what I do? I just block them. I don't respond. I don't say anything to them. I know that some I'll be at parties and I hear people calling out my name. The only thing I will not tolerate till this very day is if you talk about me and you come and talk to me, I'm gonna shut you down right away. I'm gonna say, I heard what you said. And when you see me, I would just appreciate you go your way and let me go my way. Then me back then with a flap in your face and carry on and go on my antics. But now I'm like, just keep the hypocritical energy away from me, because I'm not a hypocritical person. I don't show hate. I was never raised to show hate. I show love to anybody who deserves to be showed love to. But the me then and the me now is not the same. Is not the same person. And I don't. I just think that me and everybody that I know, me and a lot of them are not even friends anymore. First of all, and second of all, like, I just have too much to lose than to give somebody who has nothing to lose that energy.
All
So
right.
when
Well, Mikey, I just want to shout out some of the viewers. It looks like you got a lot of fans here.
a lot.
Forever29 said, "Big up, Mr. Mention." Carrie Forever is on the IG. We got TK Knight. We got Carissa. We got Serve Your Life. We got a lot of people bigging you up and shouting you out. So, again, thanks for joining the show. Now, quick question, Mikey. Uh,
I think Brooklyn had something.
all right.
Brooklyn, you were gonna
Go ahead.
go?
Pardon?
I feel like you were gonna ask something. Your
No,
time.
because no, because he was talking about like people. You don't really get into it anymore with people, right? And things of that nature. What do you think caused them to? Is it more of a they don't like you because of what other people say, or is it more because they feel like you're stunting? What do you feel the reason why you get so much hate or backlash?
Um, well, I'm gonna be honest. This is my opinion. Again, it could be wrong, but it's my opinion. My opinion is that when you know you can't break somebody, it's a hard thing to do, right? So when you and I go off of this based off of like me and people having conflicts through the years. It's always like, okay, well, you know what? He gets away with too much, and everything he gets away with, he goes out and everybody still loves him. All right, well, I'm gonna show you guys that I'm gonna bring him down. I'm gonna be the one to bring him down. I'm gonna be the one to show you guys that he's nothing. And every time they come with it, they set a brick and I stand on it. And they set a next brick and I stand on it. They set a next brick and I stand on it.
You
And
just keep
I
going.
honestly can tell you, like, like there might be things in my personal life that have had effects on me, but dancehall world can't have effect on me because I use that as an entertainment. It's for me to go out and for me to have fun. And anybody who knows me for, my legal name, and people who know me from Shoreham to Sparways to Orton Park to 400, anything, they know me for who I am, right? So anybody else, they're gonna have to know me based off of who they want me to be. And I heard a saying a long time ago that, belief kills and belief cures. Whatever you believe will stay in your head until you get it out. And I as a person can't tell you or make you believe or unbelieve something about me that you don't want to believe. You're gonna have to be the person to live with that, and that's just gonna be on you.
Okay. So let me ask this one, Mikey.
All
All
right,
right.
go on.
So you are probably heralded as one of the best dressed in Toronto history. And I'm
Hmm.
gonna go out there with the Toronto history.
No,
There's
no,
no
it's a
one.
fact. It's a
There's
fact. It's a
That's a
fact.
fact. No one's
It's a
had a
fact. It's
run.
a fact.
Nobody
Top five.
check the stats. Check the stats.
Top five. Top five.
Right. So a lot of people out
Without.
there. A lot of people out there are gonna want to know, or they probably want to know, where did you get this fashion sense from? Where do you get the style from? Talk to
You
them.
know, so it's crazy because like one thing with me is I look at the domain of everybody else, right? So if everybody's in this, I don't want to be in it. Um, I try my hardest to do things that step out of a box, and with what makes it easier for me is A, I'm skinny, A, I'm tall. I'm not that tall, but I'm a decent height. I'm skinny and I'm tall, so there's a lot more things that I could get away with. Um, and my personality brings out a lot of things that I won't bring out on other people. So I believe that I'm a daredevil. So when it comes to a lot of things, like I will see, like a lot of people go on Instagram and they'll go on Moneybags page. They're gonna go on Little Babe's page. They're gonna go on the baby's page to try to find inspirations on shit like that. I don't do kind of stuff like that. I look at like, all right, what am I gonna put on today that's gonna, as soon as I walk in, it's gonna scream Mikey mention. Like I don't want to scream the baby. I don't want to scream Moneybag. I don't want to scream anybody else that's not me, because that's not who I am. I am gonna always be original to who I am. And sometimes I'll even go the extra length to like go like to look at like runway stuff that people are doing and be like, okay, well they're doing this on the runway. How can I take something that's on the runway? Because I don't wear most runway stuff, to be honest with you, because runway stuff is a little bit too out there for me. I believe that they make too much men look too feminine. But I'll take some of the stuff that I see on the runway and say, okay, well, how can I take this to give it a masculine twist to it? So
Switch
I'll
it
do
up.
shit like that people don't want to do. Like everybody wants to, and everybody's comfortable with looking the exact same. I'm just not with that.
So wait, let me ask you, is a lot of your stuff like custom tailored, or are you just pretty much buying it from
If
like
it's
exclusive places?
no, so if it's designer, obviously it's obviously from the designer brands. But if it's like some suit, like some stuff I'll find like on the internet and I'll wear it. But then there's other shit that I'll pop like that is like suits. Most of my suits are custom made. Um
Okay, yeah, because they gotta
they're
fit.
designs that I literally sit down in my brain and I'd be like, I'll take like three different designs that I see and throw it into one. I'll bring it to my tailor and I'd be like, yo, do this, and they're like, Michael, this is gonna be so complicated. I'm like, I know it's hard, but please. And they always bring my vision to life. You know what I mean? So I always do that. I don't take one look and two looks. I take like sometimes three or four looks and throw it into one and be like, all right, like let me make this into who I am.
So let me ask you a question, right? Because we talk business on this show as well, right? So have you had any of your like viewers or people that are staying on your network ask you, where'd you get this? Can I buy this? Can you sell this to me? Like, have you thought about getting into that angle of fashion?
I have, but you know what? It's crazy. I'll tell you this honest God truth. A lot of people will come to me about shit and be like, yo, I want to wear this. I seen you wearing this, or yo, style me. Like, give me an idea on something, and I'll do that. And you know what happens? I give them the idea, and they're like, oh, I can't do this. It's too much for me. And then as soon as they see me wear it, they're like, yo, I should have listened to you. You did it good. You did good. Like, they want my advice. They want my opinion. But when I give them my opinion, they don't. It's like they lack the confidence to bring it off until they see. Like I remember one time I like only one I seen Kanye West with a mask on, the whole diamond mask on. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna kill this man. And somebody asked me, I'm like, yo, try that. And they're like, no, it's too much, it's too much. And I walked into the dance like I was a star at the party today because I did that. I did something that nobody else in a party would
But
do.
I think like you said, it's because you have the confidence to to try it. You know what I mean?
I mean, 100%, because all they could do is bash you after. It's either they're gonna love you or they're gonna bash you, and after that, like everybody knows this. It's all about 9 day talk. Like after 9 days, they're gonna move on to a new topic, so it doesn't really matter much.
That's true. They're only going to be vexed for a couple of days, and then they're on to the next.
And
I
You
there's
have
might
so
so
as
I
many
have
well
more
a
things.
style them
There's
so
so
far while you can.
yeah.
so
There's
I
so
have
much
a
more things I'd like
question.
them to be more upset about. What's up? What's
I
up?
have a
What's your
question.
question?
Since as if you're always on vacation, what does, like, I know a lot of people always want to wonder like what can we find in Mr. Mention's suitcase? What is a couple of things that you can't travel without, besides your passport and stuff like that? What is something that you know that you can't go on vacation without?
All right. So anybody who knows me well. My glasses. I'm blind as a bat. So I mean, I don't leave that for nothing. I don't leave that for nothing. My gray track pants, I never leave that for nothing. And I bring probably every single Versace boxers that I have in my whole entire, and I think I own every color that there is. Um, and I always make sure I have a white dress shirt and a black dress shirt, because as a man, you can never go wrong with having a white dress shirt and a black dress shirt because it goes with everything.
Yo, that's a fact. That's a
That's a
fact. Any
fact.
It's a
vacation I
fact.
go, any vacation I go,
Hmm.
you make sure, yo, even if me not even bring a dress pants, me say
Yeah.
black
Because you
shirt,
can put that on with
white
jeans. You can put that on with
Yep.
jeans. You can put it on
shorts,
with a trap. You
anything.
can do no matter what.
Yep.
Yeah.
Females, you
That's
bring a
right.
white dress and a black dress, a freakum dress. You always
You
have to make
can't
sure
go.
you
You
have one.
can't go wrong. Can't
So
go wrong
so
with that.
Mikey, let's ask you this. All right, so we heard I think you went in depth with, pretty much who you are, um,
Mhm.
how you evolved and came to this place where you're at now. And you touched on some of the stunting and fronting pieces. I want to ask you, are there any words, so without any background stuff, are there any words of wisdom that you would provide to somebody that wants to get on the gram, wants to get on social media, is thinking about it? They may want to stunt. They may want they're probably looking for attention, looking for clout. They want to do a Mikey mention. What's some advice? What's some words of wisdom that you would give them on that journey?
So I'm gonna give the same opinion and the same advice that I give to people that I actually know that try to come at me like that. Is when you are authentically who you are, it shows. I mean, people who are out there who know me, whether they know me in real life or not, they know that who I am is really who I am. Some people think that you have to put on name brand clothes and you have to do all of this to be who you are. I don't think people know that your personality sells who you are faster than anything else. You could walk into a room in all the designer clothes that you think is going to make you popular and you think that's going to get you all the attention in the world, and people still won't look at you. You could walk into the room wearing H&M and Zara, and you have that personality that just gravitates to everybody, and that's going to be what's going to make everybody like you. So it's not about what you wear, it's about who you are. And a lot of people need to dig deep within themselves to know who they actually are. And once you know who you are on the inside, always shows on the outside. And that's what's going to make people love you for you, because people really, even when people act like they like your online content, people are gonna genuinely love you for who you are and not who you portray to be or who you know what I mean? So just be you, no matter what it is. Like even if you like to laugh, if you like to smile, if you like to go bowling, if you like to go to the movie theaters, like if you like to go out to eat to dinner by yourself, no matter what it is, just be you. Like once you're you, like it's either they're gonna love you or they're not. And if they don't love you, then let me just move on. You'll find other people who will love you and genuinely will love you for who you are.
All right, drops the
That's a
mic.
fact.
We got we got
Yeah.
we
That's a
got
fact.
we got hearts blowing up the Instagram right now for Mikey
Mikey, but
and
all the girls always want to
those words
know
of
before you
wisdom.
guys. Hold on, before you guys get it, sorry, I know we're gonna go into the next guest, but every female always wants to know Mikey,
Mm.
Mr. Mention. I know this is always asked. Are you like are we in a relationship? Are we not? This is for the women. I know a lot of women are in here today to find that
Listen,
out. So is that any way,
listen,
shape, or form you could let that be known,
I,
or we're gonna still keep that on the hush?
You're putting the man on the
I'm,
spot.
no, no,
Jeez.
you're not
I'm
putting me on the
sorry. I
spot. You're
know
not
you're.
putting me
I
on the
know
spot.
Jada
No, no,
Man.
no,
Please
no, no,
don't kill me. I
no,
had
no,
to ask.
no,
I'm
no, no.
sorry.
You're not putting me on the spot. You're not putting me on the spot. No, I'm not in a relationship. Um, I am one of the most difficult people when it comes to relationships, and I think the reason why I am that way is because I have a certain type that I like and a certain type that I attract. And now the type that I attract and the type that I like, they don't seem to be like who I am in real life. Because if you see me in a party, I'm sure a lot of people have seen me in a party. I'm with the shits. I'm all about the antics. But then when you take me out of that party scene, like I'll be like watching a movie at the movie theater and see shit come up on the screen, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go home and Google this movie or Google what they just said. And it's like most of the females who will like me, or most of the females who will be into me, like they're into the dance hall hype and they're into the party hype, which is I'm into it too. But once you take me out of that, like I'm a totally different person, and
Totally
I
different
find that
person.
most of the females who like me, like that's all they are about. You know what I mean? Like they're like I can't have an intelligent conversation with them about like, yo, let's talk about why the fact the sky is blue and turns black at night. Like let's find out why that is. And they don't like that
Nah,
doesn't
man.
interest them. Like what
They're
interests them
they're
is like
like they're like,
That's
yo,
big.
I'm putting on a dress that matches what Mikey's wearing, and where are we going that weekend? Yeah.
yeah. You know what
So
I
would
mean?
you?
And
So would you
I have
say? Sorry. So would you
go on.
say? So would you say you, if you were to be in a relationship, your relationship wouldn't be like a social media relationship. It would be more of a private relationship, right?
Listen, I've done the social media relationships, and all they've ever done is blossomed and exploded into controversy that didn't even need to be controversy, and the controversy has never existed within our relationship. The controversy has always existed with the onliners, I'll call them, the ones who want to know more than they think that they are entitled to know, the ones who want to know where we sleep, how we sleep, what we do when we sleep. And it's always been that. So going forward, I would honestly say that going into another relationship, if it was a popular relationship, it would take more time for me to put it out there than anything else, because I don't need my life has been so peaceful lately, and I don't need the headaches of anything further.
Ladies, I hope you guys were listening. I try to help ladies, so there you guys go. Thank you,
Yes.
Mikey.
All right.
All right, much love, Mikey.
All right. Thanks guys for having me.
All right.
Yeah, no worries.
Bye.
Mikey,
Enjoy
Mikey,
your
Mikey,
trip
hold
for
on,
all
hold
of
on,
us,
hold on, hold
please.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Wagwan, we goes Wagwan.
Because you just told all the ladies that you're single, right? So you can't just jump off the live just so, because the people them want to know where they could find you and what does Mikey mention have coming up next. Is there?
True.
I know Florida's open up, so there must be some parties going on.
Put him on the screen.
Yeah,
Put him on the screen.
Are you going to Milk and
um
Honey?
yes, I'm going to Milk and Honey for sure. You can
So
find me
where
on
can they
Instagram at
find you?
Mikey Mention. Mike Instagram at Mikey Mention. That's the only platform that I really allow that's open. Or you can find me on Snapchat at Mikey Mention as well. Anything that I have, my name is Mikey Mention. That's it. I don't really have other names that I put out there for anybody else. It's always one straight name, and that's it.
Straight.
As for where you can find me and what's going on in my life, like that's really not like I don't really share those stuff. I share it
Listen,
as the moments
that's
are
none of
going
our
on.
business.
It's yeah, it's never something that I share in advance. It's something that I share when the moment is happening.
Makes sense because want to know why? Because Mikey mentioned don't front and stunt on social media, right? So
I don't have
Lives in
time.
who
real
needs
life.
I
to?
don't have no, I don't have time for that. If I don't have it, I don't have it. If I have it, I have it, and that's just life.
Exactly. And
Ah,
if you see it, it's because Mikey decided that you're meant to see it, right?
Yeah, facts. Because there's a lot of things like sometimes I'll be eating and I'll be like, "Oh, the food looks good. I should take a picture of it." I'm like, I'm not taking no picture of this food. I'm gonna eat my food and go about my business. Just you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things.
I
Like
know.
it's
I
just nothing.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
Mikey, again, we just want to thank you for taking the time out of the hot sun in Miami to join us on the Viewpoint show. You gave us a lot of insight, you gave us a lot of information, and you gave us your views on stunting and fronting and what it means. So again, thank you for joining us, and we hope to have you back on a future episode.
All right. Thank you all.
for sure. All right,
Bless.
love.
Heavy, heavy, heavy. Weight banging, weight banging, weight